How to take stock. In the last lesson, we took a look at what taking stock is and what the different elements to it are. We learnt that stock taking is the act of physically checking both the quantities and condition of the items that you are holding in your bar and storeroom. There is no one single way of taking stock, and every bar will have their own particular way of doing it. So we'll take a look at the basic principles of stock taking through an example, so that when you are required to take stock, you understand it and know how to do it. We'll be looking at how to count stock, followed by how to check quality. Let's start with how to count stock. The most important items that you will need when taking stock are a spreadsheet with all of the different items in your bar listed on it and a pencil. This spreadsheet needs to have every single type of item that will eventually be served to guests on it. Let's begin with an example where our spreadsheet contains all of the different types of mixers that we have at our bar: Coca-Cola, Fanta, and Sprite. It also contains all of the different fruit that we use to make garnishes: apples, oranges, and peaches. Now that we know the items on the list, we need to count them all so that we know how many of each item we have. For example, we may have 7 Coca-Colas, 9 Fantas, and 12 Sprites. Along with this, we may have 5 apples, 6 oranges, and 9 peaches. Now that we have all of this information, we need to use it and make decisions with it. The next step is to check whether the items that you've counted are below their minimum level. All that this means is that there should be a rule regarding each and every item, that when you have below a certain number of an item, you need to order more and replenish its stock. In our example, let's say that our minimum number for mixers is 10 and our minimum number for fruit is 10. According to our list, what are we going to have to order more of? Write down your answer quickly. You're right if you said we need to order more Coca-Colas, Fantas, apples, oranges, and peaches. With this knowledge, we can inform our manager what we need to order. If we don't do this, it is very likely that we'll run out of these items. Now that we know how to check quantity, let's look at how to check quality. The last thing to do when taking stock is to check the quality of all the items in your fridge and storeroom. When it comes to checking drinks and drink ingredients, we need to make sure that their expiry date hasn't passed. If the expiry date has passed, that drink or drink ingredient is no longer suitable to serve to guests. This means that we need to get rid of it and make the appropriate changes to our stock spreadsheet. A similar rule applies to our garnishes. We need to look at all our garnishes, with particular attention paid to our fruit and vegetables, and make a decision as to whether they are fresh enough to use. If they are not fresh enough to use, make sure that you throw them away and make the changes on your stock-taking spreadsheet. The reason that we pay particular attention to fruit and vegetables is because they tend to go off rather quickly, and so we need to make extra sure that they are fresh enough to use. A quick test. If the same restaurant in the earlier example has 15 Coca-Colas, 10 Fantas, 8 Sprites, 11 apples, 3 oranges, and 13 peaches, how many of which items will need to be ordered? Yes, at least 2 Sprites and at least 7 oranges will need to be ordered. Well done on completing this lesson on stock taking, and enjoy putting this knowledge to use.